Sure, so my name is Matt Cutler. I'm founder and CEO of BlockNative. BlockNative is a real-time transaction monitoring framework for Ethereum transactions. We basically help people understand what's going on in their transactions as they're going through the process of being confirmed. We work with wallets like Pillar, and we work with dApps as well. And for dApps, we provide front-end frameworks that help people get on board so they can transact, and then give everybody feedback about what's going on so they transact more regularly, so they do more transactions to help grow dApp businesses. For wallets, we tend to work via API, so we have a back-end infrastructure that we work with, and our specialty is the mempool. We know more about transactions in the mempool and how they progress towards completion or don't than, as far as we can tell, just about anybody else in the space, so it's pretty fun. We started the BlockNative more than a year and a half ago, building actually dApps. We were building crypto collectible games inspired by CryptoKitties, and we started to do user testing, and it was terrible. Not because our game was terrible, but because it was just so hard to get people on board, and when people were on board, they didn't know what was going on. And so we started to build tooling to make our game better. And when we showed that to other people, what we found was they said, your game, that's okay, but that helper, that's really cool, can we have one of those? And after we hear that 6 or 7 times in a row, we thought, maybe we should focus on that. And so we pivoted the organization, we shut down the NFT crypto collectible game, and we've focused on developer tools ever since. We started out working with dApps, and now we're getting a lot of demand from wallets, which is great as well. So for everyday users, we give feedback on transactions in real time. So one of the challenges associated with doing on-chain transactions is you hit confirm and then you wait, and you hope something is happening the way that you expect. What our platform does is detects those transactions and provides real-time events at every state change. So if you're an end user, you can see that your transaction is progressing as you expected. It helps settle down the anxiety. Now, most people feel like this is for new users, but we find that experienced users get as much value out of it as anyone else, because they're more likely to do higher value transactions, they're more likely to have more unusual types of transactions, and they have just as much anxiety as anyone else does. So we help users better understand what's going on, and if and when things go a little bit different than they should, we help them correct that. So we're really excited to be working with Pillar, because obviously there's a lot of transactions happening through the Pillar wallet, and we make every one of those transactions clearer and more effective. Working with Pillar is a breath of fresh air. Our space is all about composable capabilities, so different organizations, different teams with different competencies being able to mix and match their capabilities. And that requires collaboration, that requires working together in an open and honest and direct fashion. The truth is the work we're doing with Pillar right now, we weren't able to do when we first started talking. We worked with Drew and we worked with Vitor, and they looked at everything that we did and they focused on one specific capability, and they said, we would like that in our wallet. Well, our platform didn't do that at that time. It was a totally different use case for us, and they worked really collaboratively with us so that we could understand the requirements and make what amounted to a whole series of changes on our end to support the wallet effectively. Guess what? We're a way better company now as a result of that. It's a way more effective service. We're helping power a really critical part of the Pillar experience, and we can take that and work elsewhere. Pillar is also working with other companies in the space, and every one of those companies we can talk to and we can say, oh, well, we're partnered with Pillar. Oh, us too, great, let's work together. So it really has an amazing catalytic effect on the space. It's transformative for us. We feel very lucky to be working with Pillar, and we believe that this is the pattern that will help our whole industry and ecosystem progress towards where it needs to go to. So it's really exciting. We're really excited for all of the experiences that are being enabled right now that make blockchain-based transactions seamless. Faster intermediaries like the gas station network, and make it just easier on the end user. The consequence of that is transactions are getting more complicated. There's more parties involved, there's more hops involved, there's more areas where transactions can go sideways. So as the industry progresses, higher volume transactions, higher value transactions, more varieties of way transactions occur, it's great for the user, but it further drives the need for services like BlockNative. where we can provide monitoring for transactions regardless of transaction type, regardless of how many parties are involved, so that we can ensure that every transaction goes the way that you want it to. And so it's really interesting for us to see these very clear trends in the industry driving need that we're solving, right? It puts a lot of pressure on our team because it makes very real demands on our infrastructure, and what we do requires a fair amount of infrastructure. But it's all the movement is towards a better experience that requires more feedback, and we're there to provide that. The truth is, for BlockNative right now, we're kind of crushed with inbound demand. We're racing to keep up, which is a great problem to have. We're picking and choosing the projects that we work with. That's why we're working with Pillar, because it's such a great team. We definitely are expanding. We're looking to bring on new talent to the organization who can help us both extend our platform from a development perspective, but really is delivery. So working with members of the ecosystem to embed our capabilities into their experiences. We're here at LimeChain right now. We're actively exploring how we can incorporate their capabilities into our delivery mechanism, and we see a lot of opportunity moving forward. So we're really excited, we're really bullish. It's still early in the ecosystem, so little companies like us can have a big impact and hopefully become bigger organizations that have more capability and can have a broader impact across the whole thing. So we're following in Pillar's footsteps in many ways, but it's an exciting time to be in the ecosystem. It's a very interesting question. There's a lot of focus in our space around, hey, we need to be as good as Web 2.0. And my view is we have an opportunity to be way better than Web 2.0, to enable whole new classes of interaction, whole new classes of transparency, of visibility, of governance, and that those innovations will apply beyond the technology, so beyond on-chain alone. So absolutely, we see a lot of possibility for providing clarity into the nature of transactions, regardless of where those transactions occur. It's a very interesting space to be in. We're sort of carving new ground, we're inventing new things, there's new possibilities, new frontiers, and that's really fun. It's also really challenging. So it's what makes working in the space sort of unlike any other. It's really exciting. I was around in the Web 1.0 boom. I did a company, and so it's, no one was complaining about the newspapers in 1994, right? And so, what wound up happening was hard to predict at that stage, and I believe that the same patterns are at play here for us.